Welcome to Project Me, the podcast. I'm your host, Tiffany Carter, the founder of Project Me, multimillionaire entrepreneur, former TV newscaster, money-making expert, female empowerment speaker, and self-proclaimed office supply addict. My mission is to take the mystery out of making big money. Every week on Project Me, the podcast, I'll share success tips, strategies, and stories from other entrepreneurs, experts, and millionaires, showing you exactly how you can achieve your most exceptional life. Now let's get to it. Are you tired of grinding away to make money, feeling like you need to clone yourself to make your business a success? I know, I was once there too, working 12 to 14 hours a day, 7 days a week with no me time and totally overwhelmed. I knew there had to be an easier and more fun way to make massive money. And that's when I discovered passive income. Fast forward years later, and now I consistently make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year while I sleep and with little of my time. My Lord, is this a freeing and empowering feeling. It's my mission and passion to teach all of you to do the same. So I created the exclusive Project Me Passive Income Posse, where I directly teach you how to incorporate passive income streams into your life and business. If you desire the same financial freedom I've created, message me on Instagram or Facebook at Project Me with Tiffany, and I will send you the group application requirements. We're keeping this group small so everyone gets customized guidance and attention. All right, now back to today's episode. Welcome to Project Me, the podcast and posse. I'm your host, Tiffany Carter. So I know so many of you who want a clothing line or want to add some branded swag into your business for passive income. So I brought on a boss babe who is doing it with great passion and great strategy, and therefore great success. Monica Agana is the founder of Savage Babe, a podcast host, and a fitness and mindset coach. I'm so excited to have you on. And I have one of her signature sweatshirts too that you guys can see if you go on the Instagram post from today at Project Me with Tiffany. What's up, girl?
Hey, Tiffany. Thank you so much for having me on your show today. I'm super excited to talk with you.
So what's so funny is your brand, you put your clothing, your apparel out there first. It's not as much a personal brand, right? It's not like your website is Monica Agana. It is, you're seeing, what you notice more so is your actual like apparel and Savage Babe and the brand. And so I, in my head, right, when you don't know someone, you kind of have a picture or an idea of what they're going to be like or look like, especially if you're not like seeing much of themselves personally, like online, right? And It was so funny because when we got on, Savage Babe, like savage, like that's a hardcore word. And you have such a delicate, pleasant voice, and you don't look like a savage beast. So where did this name come from?
Oh man, Tiffany, I do got some savage in me. Trust me. I got a sassy side as well. But yeah, Savage. So Savage Babe, this name, I kid you not, I made this name up while I was laying in bed at 11 p.m. at night. And I was trying to figure out a name for a brand that I could help empower women with. And Savage, I have a few shirts that say Savage, but I'm like, well, I don't want to just call the brand Savage. I want it to be something that has an edge to it, but it also has the feminine part. So I brainstormed a bunch of things in my head. I didn't write any of this down, so I can't really tell you what other things I came up with. But Babe was the other part of it that just sounded right. Savage Babe together just sounded like, like a woman who takes her life by the reins, who doesn't deal with shit, but who also has this feminine, this gentle and, delicate side to her where she cares about people and she's kind and compassionate. So I wanted to have both in there at the same time.
Well, it got my attention. I mean,
Awesome.
Listen, I didn't have to buy anything. Like, I need another sweatshirt or tank top, like a hole in the head, because I'm obsessed. Like that's, I mean, that's like what I wear every day, right? And so it's not like I needed it, but it was like that name. It's like exactly what you said. It's like a beast, but like a sexy beast. I love it. So I know some of your story is that this came out of, a past pain that stems back to childhood, right? I believe you were bullied. Is that right?
Yes, I was bullied and physically abused by my father for 5 to 6 years of my life as a kid. So a lot of what has become Savage Babe is a community of women who may have experienced similar traumas in their past, and they're needing that help and that motivation and inspiration to come out of that. And so I created this brand that helps women to kind of feel what I've gone through, and then but definitely has seen what I've overcame and how I'm building my life. And Savage Babe is almost, in a sense, I would say, a journey of mine. And as weird as that is, it's not just an apparel brand. Yes, I want it to be at the level of an apparel brand, and even maybe higher than Gymshark one day. Not even maybe, it's going to be. And so a lot of my past led to feelings of unworthiness, not being good enough, because I felt like I couldn't measure up to my dad, and I couldn't measure up to other kids because the bullying that was happening at the babysitters and at school, and in just even with my cousins, they would bully me. So I felt very alone. I didn't really have that emotional support. My mom, she was probably the most supportive, but she wasn't really always there. I mean, she saw me get physically abused. She knew I was getting bullied, but maybe I felt, in a sense, she was also scared too, which is why she didn't do much to help me out of that. And so I did feel very alone, and I did not feel like I had anyone's support at all. And again, coming back to this idea of just the feelings of unworthiness and not being good enough, it transferred into my life as I grew up as an adult. So I started noticing things in my relationships where I was so clingy, where I felt, where I felt like I needed to try to be this perfect person for somebody else. And I always kept trying to cling to people who didn't want me, who weren't crazy about me. And there was a point in my early 20s where I was promiscuous. No, I wasn't cheating on anyone, but I was jumping from guy to guy. I was jumping from relationship to relationship because I didn't feel like, I just wanted someone to love me because I didn't feel like I loved myself at the time. And so because I noticed all these patterns throughout my adulthood, it came to a point where it just kept repeating and showing itself up. And I realized, wow, if this keeps happening, there's something bigger, because I keep self-sabotaging. I kept making excuses. Every time I had goals, I kept making excuses for them, or I couldn't achieve them because some insecurity was going on in the back of my mind. And so I knew that in order to fix this issue and to actually finally move forward with my life and to actually be happy, I needed to really just come to grips and face this issue in front head on. And so that's when I started to heal. And as soon as I started to heal, it really helped me become more aligned with myself and really helped me see my life and my purpose and my passions much more clearly. I realized that getting a master's degree in mathematics was absolutely not what I wanted to do.
That sounds really fucking boring.
Really boring. Yes, I wrote a dissertation that was 100 pages, and I defended it in front of a board of professors. And yes, I could say that's an accomplishment, but at the end of the day, I was not happy. I was doing it for my dad. At the end of the day, I really wanted to make my dad happy. So I got that degree, right? And then immediately after, I got offered an awesome opportunity at a 9 to 5 corporate job as a revenue analyst. Got promoted every year, was making good money, got a nice car, bought my first house on my own. I was doing it all on my own. I was like, hell yeah, I'm an independent woman and I'm doing all the things that my dad wanted me to do. And he was happy. I mean, I got that phone call and he said to me, I just want you to know how proud of you I am. And that felt so good because I've been waiting for that, And about almost 3 years go by and I was just not happy. Even the day that I walked into the job, I was already feeling that this was not for me. And then another year went by and I was even more so feeling those feelings of, oh, how can I be here? And then I had a manager that I didn't necessarily get along with who micromanaged me and threatened to terminate me almost every quarter. And it got to the point where I could not stand it anymore. I couldn't. I started because I was allowed to work remotely and it came to the point where I didn't even want to show up to work. So I would just work from home, but I was half-assing because it was really, really hard. And I did feel like I wasn't giving the company enough of me. And so I said to myself, I need to leave. I can't be here anymore. So yes, finally put my 2 weeks notice in and it felt so good. Oh, I remember the weight off my shoulders, girl.
That's so funny because she interviewed me on her show and I shared how pressing that button to submit the notice felt good. So now I see why you can totally relate. So wait, did you quit this corporate job without a parachute? Like, you didn't do like a side hustle and transition? You just quit?
Oh, great question. So I had started Savage Babe January 2018. And so by the time I did quit, it was May 2018. So at the end of May, I put my 2 weeks notice in mid-May and left end of May. So I didn't necessarily have much money in my account because I had just bought a house maybe 5 to 6 months before quitting. And I was putting all my paychecks into Savage Babe to fund, launches and stuff, get shit going. So no, I didn't have a parachute, I guess you would say. What I did have was the support of my boyfriend who really supported me in this and told me that if I really needed help financially with Savage Babe, that he would be my investor. And so, I have an amazing boyfriend. I cannot even say how much he has supported me through this whole experience and through Savage Babe. And I told him, like, well, if you're going to put this much financial time into this, you should join me. So he became the other owner by mid of last year. And now he's our media director. And he's also a freelancer for videography and stuff like that in the Boise area. So yes, he and I now are a team. And it could have been like one of those things where you don't know if you're going to break up, right? You don't know. I mean, we're not married. We don't have any ties, and we are rocky. At the time, we were very rocky when I was still in my corporate job. Right now, not as much. We're a lot better where we are now. But at the time when we were both kind of unhappy because of working jobs that we hated, we had a very rocky relationship because of stress, and we fought a lot. So the fact that I just put my faith into everything and hoped for the best, it just worked out.
Wow.
I can't say that's going to work for everybody, but sometimes you just got to go with your gut. And that's what I did.
So how did you decide that you wanted to create an apparel line? And your line is, and I'm sure there's a special term for it, so you can tell me what that is. But it's like, is it called athleisure or whatever? It's like, this is a line of clothes that you can wear at the gym and after the gym. It's like a sporty type line. So you went from, doing math and analytics to this. So why have you always had a love for clothing design or what?
Yes. So one thing I know always known about me that's always been a sure thing is I love creating. I love creating. And I've been like that since I was a little girl. I started drawing when I was in kindergarten. I kid you not. I remember making my first drawing of a flower, and I got so many compliments in class, even by the teacher, that I had drawn a really great flower. And then in 6th grade, I won the t-shirt drawing contest. In 4th grade, I won, I think, like $100 to some other drawing contests. And I did a lot of art classes as I was growing up. Even when I got to college, I joined painting class for a whole year. I did drawing class. I did stained glass. I was photography editor and a photographer of the yearbook in high school. And I played guitar. And so I wrote a lot of songs, and I was in a couple bands, and we did coffee shop stuff too, where, I just had my guitar and I would sing my songs that I wrote. So I loved creating and apparel. And I always liked dressing up cute. And I figured, hey, if I can draw, why not make apparel for women and give an apparel brand much more meaning than just an apparel brand, because we got enough of those. We got enough of just.
Thank you. Yeah. It's like, girl, hashtag girl power. And it's like, you can buy that shit at Target. It's exactly. Like, what does it mean?
Exactly. So I wanted this apparel brand to be more than just wear it because it's cute and everybody else is wearing it. I want it to be a community of women. I want women, when they feel like it, they feel fucking like a savage. They feel empowered, excited, ready to just own the day, beat their goals, and kill the rest of the year. And moving forward, I wanted them to feel like they have other women too at their side. I wanted to build something that was very meaningful because of the past that I had. I don't like just building things to build things. Things need to have a purpose for me. I need to feel passionate about it.
Well, and those are the only businesses that are successful. They really are. If there's not a bigger meaning, if you're not obsessed with it, it might make some money, but it won't be sustainable. And I can just tell, you guys can't see her. I can see her, but you can just tell she lights up, like she's obsessed. So when we look at like your Instagram, it's at Savage Babe Collection, right?
Correct. Yes.
So when we look at like all the different designs, you actually designed those. Like, you didn't pay a designer. Those are yours.
I did all of them except the skull one, the sugar skull.
Oh, wow. So what do you do? Like, you do this on what, like Photoshop or something?
Oh, yeah. So Adobe Illustrator is my best friend. I use that a lot for designing. I buy my fonts because I know it's important to invest. And so, I'm not going to just use the free ones because they don't look that good. I also spend a lot of time researching how to use these tools because I never used them before. But I figured, since I have an art minor and all that experience from high school and junior high, it actually has helped me be able to understand the tools a lot easier than if I didn't have that experience.
So you know how to like draw and paint by hand, but you weren't already trained in Adobe products, in Adobe Illustrator, like a graphic artist.
Right.
Oh, wow. So you are self-taught in that.
Yes.
Correct. Wow. See? So, because I wanted people to understand that that's great that you can draw it by hand, but in order to do it in this day and age, you had to learn yet another skill. And that's a complicated program to learn.
Oh yeah, it's definitely, you're gonna have to, it's a learning curve. If you are not used to doing things graphically on a computer, it's definitely a learning curve.
Wow. So that's really impressive. I know so many people, again, that's why part of why I brought you on the show, that, they have certain sayings or they've always dreamed of having a line or something like that. So tell me, what are things you wish you knew before you started Savage Babe?
Oh gosh. Yes. I love this question. Manufacturer, how to find a trusting manufacturer, how to even negotiate. Negotiating wasn't something I was good at before I started an apparel line. I always just thought you had to pay what they asked, and then realized later on that you were allowed to call the shots too and negotiate things. Because obviously, if you're not making a lot when you first start a company, you're going to need to make sure you can afford stuff for a good price. Also, knowing terms like cost per unit. I wish I knew things like that. Like, what is a good cost per unit on apparel, and how much should you be charging when you do for a retail price when you do launch it? Another thing that I wish that I knew how to do was because when I first started the brand, I was going to the post office and shipping all my stuff, and they charge up the ass. And that's a huge thing I'm going to say right now is they charge up the ass for shipping. So if you can find out how to do it online, which you can, you just Google it, you're going to be able to save so much more on postage, and you're going to be able to charge less for shipping because of being able to pay less for shipping. And one of the reasons customers won't buy something is if you're shipping so up the ass.
That's true. I didn't know that. So you can actually take out, so to speak, the middleman, i.e. the post office, the UPS store, FedEx, by what? By going online and printing out your own postage?
Yes. Exactly. Yep. There's different websites that do it and offer it for you. There's also where they have memberships where you pay month to month, and they offer you much more discounted prices on postage.
Wow. And they do that for international too, or just domestic?
Both.
Wow, that's a great tip. Yeah, the shipping is what kills people. I have a sponsor in her guide planners, and she had very successful, top ratings, for planners and stuff like that on Amazon. And she said the shipping is what kills them because her stuff weighs more than yours. Think of like a big journal, right? Yeah. So it weighs more. And she's like, that's what kills her. Now, let me ask you this. I don't think you're on Amazon, right?
No, not right now.
So why? And I know a lot of people think, oh, I can design like cute mugs and some tank tops for my online brand or whatever it is, and I can just put it on Amazon. But people who have done more research and are a little more seasoned like yourself, I see there's a strategy behind that. So
yes. So as far as Amazon, we haven't necessarily put ourselves up there yet because I want to bring more traction to my website, and my website is what builds my mailing list. Every time someone goes in there, there's a 99% chance I'm going to get their email because of the light box that pops up offering 15% off on your first purchase. And so in order to build my list, I want to push everybody towards my website so I can generate a huge mailing list because, I still think that maybe one day Instagram's going to turn off or Facebook or whatever. You never know, but email is always going to be around. So I want to make sure that I have my audience on another platform, and it's a more, what would you call it?
It's sustainable.
Sustainable.
Yeah,
yes.
That's very smart. So do you see how, like I said in the beginning of the show, she has the passion, but passion without great strategy does not equal success. You have to have both. So that's That's a very smart, well thought out strategy. So what are the things about having an apparel line in terms of sales that you thought would happen? Did you think you started putting it out there and you're like, oh, I'll at least make like $5,000 a month off this? Like, how did your expectations meet reality?
Oh, when I first put it out there from day one, I was honestly not expecting a whole lot. All I did was talk about it on social media. Mostly Instagram is where we hang out a lot, so you can find me there. But all I did was just talk about it from a place of passion, from a place of what felt right for me, and people just started buying, and then more people started showing up because their friends referred us, and then someone else's friend referred us, and then another, and then I, not on top of that, but I also do Facebook ads. I pay for Facebook ads and Instagram ads, so that's also helping as well. And because our brand just stands out, I personally feel it stands out compared to a normal apparel brand. A lot of people are really loving what we do because there's that message that I told you about, a bigger message than just clothes. It's empowering, it's motivational, it's positive, it's exciting, it's real and raw. I also share on my platform some days when I'm having crappy, shitty days. And I try to make sure that people don't get the idea that my life's perfect or that this apparel brand's perfect, that there's actually struggle and there's challenges that come with it every single day.
Oh God. Well, welcome to entrepreneurship, right? I mean, yeah, it's like, it's some days you're like, this is amazing. And I should be on the cover of Forbes. And then the next day you're like, I should shut this whole thing down. Like, why am I even doing this? It's like that. It really is like that dramatic and everything in between. And looking through your site, something I see you're doing that I really commend you for, and is such smart strategy, is you have affiliates. So you offer an affiliate program. So tell me how that came about and how it's working for you.
Affiliate program came about, well, I follow a few successful entrepreneurs, and I noticed that some of those people who own their own lines of products are using affiliate marketing. And I do a lot of research. I listen to podcasts, and I listen to podcasts about affiliate marketing and why it's a good thing to do. And I thought about, hey, why not help my women make some extra money? Because I know a lot of women who are raving about Savage Babe and would love this opportunity. Why not give them the opportunity to make some extra money, since this is a brand about growth and this is a brand about being your best self and creating a life that you love? Why it only made sense to me to integrate affiliate marketing into it.
So for people who don't know, who are following, affiliate marketing is really when you are selling, you're promoting, you're talking about a product or a service, someone else's, and you're receiving, quite frankly, it's a commission. So you're receiving a percentage of the sale, or you're receiving a flat dollar amount. So if an item's $50 and you're an affiliate for it, you might receive $5, you might receive $10, you might receive $1, depending on how it is set up. So that's one of the things I teach in my Project Me Passive Income Posse, is a great passive income stream. So if you're already like into Savage Babe, for example, like now I need to be an affiliate, but anyway, I digress. And you already are into it. You're already showing yourself wearing it, right? You're already into it. Well, why not make money off it? So if a company, first off, number one, check to see if that brand you like, or that brand and or personal brand, right? Like when my signature course comes out, I'm offering an affiliate for it, right? Like you said, I want to practice, I want people to put into practice what I teach, like be an affiliate, make money. You already are into it, right? So what? Let's just say what? Give us an example. Like if someone sold a $40 sweatshirt, how much would they make roughly?
Probably about $5.
So $5. That's legit. So that's just one person. So what if you sold 10 a week and you made a goal? What if you put your own Facebook ads out there and you sold 50 a week, 100 a week? She doesn't care. She'll keep paying you, right?
Exactly.
And therefore, you don't have to do the headache. This is the beauty of affiliate marketing. You might not want to be a fashion designer. You might not want to go through the headache of even building a company and doing the manufacturing and the shipping and all the stuff, but you want to make money off it. So there you go. So I notice you also have brand ambassadors. What's the difference between a brand ambassador and an affiliate?
Yes. So the ambassadors get a personal code and a public code. A personal code's about 20%. So they get a little bit of a higher discount for our items, and then 10% for public code. But ambassadors, in my brand, they get a little bit more advertisement of their own brand. So I always look for those leaders in my community who are trying to help empower other women, who are showing up all the time, who are posting continuously, engaging continuously, and also are excited about Savage Babe, of course. They get to be on the Instagram story on Savage Babe. So we do those about a couple of times a year, and we have all the ambassadors get on and just spend a day with the Savage Babe community on the IG stories. They also get their own little cute highlight on our Instagram. Yeah. And they get a free shirt, and here and there, occasionally we'll give them free stuff just because we love them. But we love everybody. But because they do so much for us, I like to, just give back as much as I can. And I'm a little bit more quality over quantity when it comes to ambassadors, which is also one of the other reasons why I have an affiliate program, so that for anybody who still wants to help support us, they have an incentive to make money doing so.
So for anyone who is interested in being an affiliate and checking her stuff out, it's savagebabe.com, right?
SavageBabeCollection.com.
Okay, sorry. SavageBabeCollection.com. What if someone who's listening really feels they'd make a great brand ambassador? Is there somewhere on your website where they can apply to do that?
Absolutely. Yes. So go to SavageBabeCollection.com, and under the page labeled Ambassador, you will be able to find all the rules and guidelines and dates of when the applications are coming out and when the applications are due. We have 2 rounds. So the first round, you'll see all the guidelines there. And as long as you pass the first round, you'll be entered automatically into the second round. And the second round's a little bit more challenging, but it helps me understand who really is showing up despite of their fear. So what they have to do is talk in their story and tag us and say why they deserve to be a Savage Babe ambassador. I mean, that's a little bit more scary, but it really does show me who really loves this brand and who is willing to talk about it publicly on their page.
Well, and listen, your brand is Savage Babes. You want Savage Babes.
Exactly.
Where they're like, listen, I want this shit. I'm doing it. What's up? You guys, I have to tell you a quick story. It's so funny. This turned out to be, her sweatshirt turned out to be the most expensive sweatshirt I've ever bought on the planet. And here's how. So I wanted it. A lot of you guys know I just got back from a trip to Hong Kong, Singapore, and Maldives. I had a photo shoot scheduled in Hong Kong, and the universe brought us together, right? I wasn't out searching. I was like, I need this shirt. It's like a cropped, I'd say it's an ultra cropped sweatshirt for Savage Babe. I'm like, I am a fucking Savage Babe. And that's my style. We all know this, right? So I was like, this is happening. And I wanted to support her, in doing a professional shoot. And then she gets that, professional picture. Anyway, she tried to make it happen, which, whatever. For some reason, it never got delivered. I sent my assistant to the PO box. I went to the PO box. It became this hysterical thing about the lost sweatshirt. Anyway, we didn't get it in time before I left. the sweatshirt magically appeared at my PO box. I get like dozens of boxes a week, and this is the only thing that has been missing. And I started laughing with her because it was like, what's the deal with the shirt? And then I said, you know what? I hope that you see I hope you take this as flattery, how much I want this shirt, because I don't put this much effort even into frozen yogurt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yes, because you had to go to the PO box yourself.
It was a lot of time. I just had to share that. So for other people who are listening who are at the point where they might want to add merch, they want to add some merchandise for their brand and it would make sense, or they like this concept of an affiliate program. How did you figure out how to do that on the back end? Is it because of your mathematics background that you understood, okay, I have 100 different people who are affiliates. That's a lot of people. And this person sold 5. That person sold 15. This person sold 1. How do you keep track of who did what? When do you pay them and all those things?
Oh, yes. I use specifically a hosting tool, like a website that tracks it for me. Of course, you have to pay to use these services, a monthly rate. So one is Lead Dino. You can use that to help you, and that will keep track of all your affiliates, and then it'll notify you who needs to be paid at the end of the month, and you can quickly pay them manually or on PayPal.
And then do you have your affiliates, like your ambassadors, fill out like a legal form on top of it?
Yes. So there is an electronic form that they have to consent to before they opt in.
Love this, you guys. I hope your wheels are turning, right? Because that's a form of passive income for her, right? I mean, while you're sleeping, you're getting sales, right? I mean, your entire business, in fact, is heavily passive income based, right?
Yes. As soon as I get rid of the packing and shipping part.
Right. As soon as you outsource, that's your active component, right? That's your active side. So where are we going with your business and brand next? Like, what's the next step?
Heck yes. It's going places. So yes, like I said, outsourcing the packing and shipping. I do have an assistant, and she does do that for me now, which is really nice, but it would also be nice to not have her doing that for me because I need her to do other things. So eventually having a company do that. And they do have a lot of fulfillment services out there, so you can do your research on them. And then I also want to do more collaborations with a lot of similar brands such as mine. And not just that, like within my community in Boise and also outside, non-local. So that's what we're headed towards. We're also planning on a summer event here in Boise, which is more local as well. Yes, with a lot of other businesses who are in the health and wellness side of things. So that is also something we're working on. The grand scheme, the bigger picture, I envision a Savage Babe warehouse with a gym in it. Maybe a kombucha stand as well, because I love kombucha.
Dude, that would be so cool. I love this.
Yes. And I always try to visualize that every single day, because if I don't visualize it, I know it's not going to happen. So just keeping my eye on that as well, but also just trying to enjoy the process. I don't know what else to say. I mean, lots of more clothes for every launch, more inventory, every single launch that we have, better stuff that the community wants. I'm always on Instagram and on my email list asking people like, hey, what do you want to see? What do you want? So a lot of what we bring out, it's because our community asks for. So I'm huge in trying to figure out what my audience wants all the time. I'm not just making things to make it because I like it, but I also try to make sure the audience likes it as well.
What do you think has made you, I mean, in a very short period of time, you've had some solid success. So what do you attribute that to?
I attribute that to, if the first thing that pops in my head is alignment. I'm always just following, when it comes to growing the brand, I'm always following what my heart is telling me in that moment. If it's telling me, like if I get offered a business deal, if something feels wrong, I will say no. And I'm not afraid to say no anymore. But because I know that if it's not in alignment, I'm just wasting my time. A lot of it also is being raw and authentic with my audience. I know a lot of businesses don't necessarily agree with how maybe I do things, how I am honest about if something does go wrong behind the scenes. And sometimes I do tell my audience, and that's not exactly professional, but this is how I'm growing. And my community backs me up even more when I tell them the truth, when I actually am honest about what's going on. So I feel that the two things is alignment, like being soul-centered in my decision-making, and being honest and raw with my audience.
Yeah, it builds trust, right? And when we build trust and we let people in to see that there's a story, that's what makes a brand versus just having a business. Having a business is actually very easy, but it doesn't connect anyone. You know, you want someone to, whatever you come out with, whether it's, you know, some cool type of protein shaker or whatever it is, socks, scarf, whatever it is, it's like you want those people to be attached to the brand. And that's because you've created that feeling from your story, from sharing, from your authenticity. I commend everything you're doing. I'm so happy that you're on the show. And I love supporting other women who are going after it, man. You're doing awesome.
You too, girl. You're fucking amazing. Sorry I cursed so much too.
Well, I'm the last person to apologize to. I always get people like after certain episodes though, which makes me laugh. I always get someone sending me Bible scripture and then trying to tie it into swearing. It's like, listen, God made me this way, so I can swear and I'll be okay. Like, it's fine.
I've gotten nasty emails from some, you know, very religious women who don't agree with my cursing as well. So I totally hear you on that.
And that, you know what that makes the Savage Babe do? It makes us swear more.
It does. I love it because I swear so much on my platform that almost all the women who do follow it swear just as much as I do. It's the best.
It feels so good. It's like such a release. Like it feels, you know, like my power statement is fuck it. It feels good. And they're just words. They're just letters that we've combined. It's like
just an adjective.
It's like, let's calm down about this. Well, thank you so much, you guys. If you loved hearing this episode, learning how you can do all the things and got some great ideas, take a screenshot right now, tag me at Project Me with Tiffany, and tag our lovely Monica here at Savage Babe Collection so that we can see you loved it. And of course, if you have any questions, if you're interested in being an affiliate, an ambassador, you know, you can go to her website, savagebabecollection.com, or you can just DM her. If you're driving and you space out, you can always DM me at Project Me with Tiffany, and I'll make sure you get her info so you guys get connected. All right.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Tiffany. You're amazing.
Thank you. You guys have a great day. If you enjoyed this podcast, please write a 5-star review on iTunes. Not only will this make me super happy, but it will allow more listeners to find our special show. Simply help me help others.